That's going. Now we're just waiting for this to go.
That looks weird.
What looks weird?
The plant.
The plant
blowing
moving?
behind me.
Nope. What are you two? Everybody in here. Nobody's ever put the plant before. And this is how we open every show. Welcome in.
Oh,
It's
like,
plants with
don't touch my
productivity.
stuff.
It's plants with productivity. It's Frappuccino with the founder. So I have to tell you, I reached out and invited Shannon. I said, "Can you do coffee with the capper?" Timothy, I'm not a capper. So I gave him like 17 seconds, 13 seconds, 11 seconds. Frappuccino with the founder. She's like, sure. So we're doing Frappuccino with the founder. The Founders Club is for anybody who's been with the company for 15 plus years. Shannon got here. Did you arrive with Noah on the ark after
Pretty
the Great
close.
Flood? Pretty close?
Yes.
You and Duffy carried off the aardvarks and the
Yep.
giraffes? Okay.
It's true.
So
I'm the only existing original member.
the only existing original
So of that
member.
first space and that first small group, there are people who've been here 15 years.
1,000%. Yeah.
But as far as who signed on when Nathan was still painting the reception area
Is that why it looks so bad? Did he honestly paint that?
on Islington Street.
Ooh, at the women's prison. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, the
okay.
original side.
Yep.
That's incredible. Nicholas down there painting. That's fantastic.
It's not great.
We're going to talk about all this stuff because, and you had said when you first got in here, and you also threatened yesterday you were doing show and tell, and we have a lot of stuff to get. We're apparently doing a 4-hour show.
Okay.
So we'll do 2 hours this week, 2 hours next week. Just kidding. This is get us from like high school graduation to this conversation, and there's a long way to go. But you've got to talk about the fact that you were
Okay.
the first instructor at the Market Center. Really, I mean,
true.
Duffy's like the brain. He loves teaching, but you were the first person that was doing the productivity coaching role before Texas decided there was a productivity coaching role.
Yes. I
Because-
was part of those original meetings as far as the outline plan for what a productivity coach actually is.
And yeah, because back in the day, it was like the ATL was always the person who was
Mhm.
helping with recruiting, but doing most of the teaching.
Right.
now
but
they
we were too
transitioned.
small for an ATL.
1,000%. So take it away.
Take it away
Yeah.
from high school till today.
You can cliff notes. You're allowed to cliff note.
How did you end up trapped here? That's
Yeah,
what he
yeah.
wants to know.
That's a much more valid question.
Well, I mean, because you were part of the conversations. To your point, you were part of the conversation. Nathan was having conversations on Cushing in Dover at his house
yes, but
in
I
his
was
living
never
room.
invited.
You okay? So how did
I was never invited once, and I actually said to him when I was at Prudential, I'm really, really busy because I was coming off my Portsmouth Rotary presidency.
Mhm.
I said, I don't want to get in trouble, so just leave me out.
Okay.
And he did. He was very respectful.
Oh, so that's why you weren't invited.
Right. Oh, no,
Okay.
it's not. No.
Yeah,
He
like
was
how did you
very-
get in the first group? But you're like, okay. Because-
Right. But then when everybody left with Nathan, I can't believe I'm going to tell this story.
Love this. I love all of
So
this.
everyone left with Nathan.
Yeah.
And they came to me and they said, they asked me why I had taken a 90-day listing, but that was all I could get. And they said I was lying. And so they fired me. So I trotted over to Islington Street because I was mad.
Mm.
And Nathan and John Duffy were painting.
Duffy was painting. Well, Duffy, we've seen his work. He knows what he's doing.
And I was really, really mad. And I said, Nathan, now you're stuck with me.
Fantastic.
You got me fired, so now you have to hire me.
Because I think based on the stories he's told me, he had conversations
He
in his
did.
living room, exhaustive conversations
Yes.
in his living room on Cushing. And I think day one, the promise was 31 people were going to show up, and 19 showed up. I think.
Is that it?
I think the math is something
Yeah.
like
My
that. So
base-
even Nate, if we're doing the math, even his attrition sucked when he started, but it's gotten better over time.
Yeah.
Yes. The promissory notes were about 31, but 19 people showed up. So when you think about the fact that it was 19 on Islington Street to start way back in 2004.
I didn't think there was that many.
I didn't
of
think there
us.
was either.
I
But
didn't
okay.
Oh,
think
maybe
there was
maybe
that
it was
many of
maybe
I
it
thought
was
there
like
was
11.
like 6.
Oh, maybe-
I
yeah,
agree with
Oh,
that.
maybe it was like
Yeah.
11. Maybe it was
Because
like 11.
we
Or,
were-
I'm sure I have the math.
We
wrong.
were
Yeah.
sitting in a bullpen at the point in time which became the conference room,
Right.
Yeah.
but it had cubicles inside it. I don't think it was like me, Sandy Dyka, Lori Barnes, Kurt Touchette. I don't think there was more than 6.
Yeah, I think there was like 6, if I
Oh,
remember correctly.
All
Because I
right.
remember
his math
talking
is
to him.
worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. His gross and his net. All right. Interesting.
Well, I guess the question is, was there maybe some others that were names that weren't actually people that were doing
No,
anything?
I don't think that. Well, that's possible.
Yeah.
There were
Yeah.
people who didn't produce and
Yeah.
weren't
Yeah.
actually working.
Yeah.
We all sat in there the day of the Katrina hurricane and watched it on TV. That's like, it was our whole day, was watching the
That's
hurricane.
crazy. That's crazy. So when you were at Prudential, but let's go back before Prudential though. Like, get me.
Oh, back before
Give us this.
Prudential.
Give us the story of Shannon wrapping up high school and then getting to real estate. Like, fill in that blank, because nobody knows what you did before real estate. Like, I've known you for a long time, and I don't know what you did before real estate. All
Was
I know
there a
is
time before real estate?
I believe there was.
There was.
Yeah.
No, I left high school and I ended up going to college for electronic engineering. And I promptly was in a car accident, which took away all the feeling of hot and cold in my hands.
Mm.
So to go into industrial electronics at that time was probably not smart. So I started.
She would have been the only one working without gloves. Can't feel a thing.
Can't feel a thing.
Yep.
So I ended up selling electronics for a long time.
Mhm.
And so I sold stereos and camcorders and computers.
Were you at Radio Shack
No.
on Islington Street? Just
I
kidding.
was on Sears.
Sears. Okay.
And Sears was a really good deal for salesmen at the time. You earned a full-time income, working part-time hours. You had health insurance, paid vacation, educational help. In its day, Sears was a true career.
Were you at the one? Which location did you start?
The
at?
one that they're ripping
The
down.
ripping
one
down
in
now.
Newington,
You
yeah.
were really
I
there.
watched them build it. Now I'm going to watch them tear it down.
That's crazy.
So I was with Sears for about 10 years.
Yeah.
And, learned a lot, particularly about stalkers.
I don't know why she's looking at me.
The natural physical reference to Bradley when she said stalkers was, yeah.
And I left working at Sears because I opened a small business helping people put together their VCRs and dealing with their camcorders and their stereos at home.
Okay.
That's awesome.
So
You
that's-
fix their clocks for them.
I did. I set their VCR clocks for them and they paid me for it, which was insane.
That's incredible.
And from there, I ended up becoming a Rotarian.
Okay.
And so you meet a lot of business people.
Mhm.
And I was involved with Seacoast Repertory Theater and Music Hall. And I started doing a new business because people figured out how to change the clocks on their VCRs. And they were less willing to carry 20 pounds around when they went to Disney. And the camcorders were good money. But I started a new business of fundraising for nonprofits.
Okay.
Which meant I did really fun things. I ran the Mayor's Cup golf tournament. I ran the Bow Street Fair. I ran the Music Hall Ice Cream Festival and all of their volunteers. And I had some wonderful benefactors in Portsmouth, Joe Sawtelle and Arias Salufo. And they paid me to raise money. So they paid me to be a professional volunteer.
Okay.
And by then I was involved in Rotary, which meant I got involved in this program called Rotary Youth Leadership Awards, where we take sophomores out. Well, we take them up to a Boy Scout camp for high ropes and low ropes. It was a leadership thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I became Portsmouth president, which was a really unique experience because Portsmouth Rotary at that time was at the Yokins, and there were over 400 members. And it was a very good experience. I learned how to do a lot of public speaking there.
Yeah.
Traveled across the region talking about Rotary programs. So we did all of that. And Joe Sawtelle, who wanted me to run his golf tournament, I said, Joe, I have to get a job, a real job.
Mm-hmm.
And the plan was to become an accountant. I know it's hard to imagine, but that's where my skill set is.
Yeah.
And so Joe said, well, how about this? How about if you go into real estate? Because my family had been in real estate. He knew my history.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll feed you listings if you run my golf tournament in the summertime. I said, fine. And so he introduced me to Kathy Rush at Prudential, told her that I had to have a desk. They trained me for like 6 months, no license. I went and took the test, passed the test, and Joe died. So it was very, so now I'm in real estate.
Yeah.
My major client benefactor is no longer with me, and I had to do real estate. How's that?
We're good. Did you, outside of the promise of, okay, this is just going to be a financial pad for me while I do the golf thing, like he had presented that
Yep.
to you as a deal. Was there any desire? Because obviously you had the heritage in your family,
Sure. And
but
I
you
had
hadn't
been
pursued it on your own.
Oh
so,
no, I had been in real estate the first time
oh, okay.
from right. It was right at a recession, so I'm going to say 1989,
Okay.
right in the savings and dime recession.
Okay.
And that was the place where I was selling electronics. Plus, I was trying to start a real estate business, but electronics made a lot of money,
Mm.
and it was cake work. And
How many Commodore 64s did you sell?
none.
Oh,
They didn't carry Commodore 64.
you would have if they did.
Yes,
Okay.
they carried a much fancier brand called Franklin.
Oh my God. Franklin.
It's true.
It's
It
amazing.
was an Apple ripoff. But I made the majority of my business was around stereos and camcorders.
Okay. Very cool. So now we're at the Kathy Rush project, right? You're at
Yes.
Prudential, and you're there before Nathan shows up?
I am.
Yeah, because Nathan shows up in like 2002, if I'm not crazy.
Sure.
Because that's when I remember him escaping radio.
Yes.
He's like, I
and
gotta go do something else.
she immediately became his favorite person.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Fill that in for me.
I think she had a crush on him.
Oh, he became her favorite person.
yes.
Okay, you said it the other way
Oh, no,
around.
no,
I was
no.
like, tell me about that.
No, I truly believe she had a little bit of a
Kathy had a rush for Nathan.
thing. So,
Okay.
but
Interesting.
she was going through a big change in her business too.
Okay. Very cool.
But that's, I guess, in a nutshell, how I ended up here.
So when you get here, is it party of you at this point? You hadn't started a team or anything at that point, had you?
I was sort of in a partnership
Okay.
with another agent.
Yeah.
And that lasted till 2007.
Mm-hmm. And then when do you start teaching? Like, when does it become natural for Nathan to say, jump in here, jump in there? Did you raise your hand? Was it Nathan saw it?
Nope. It was Shannon started having classes, putting on classes because we had the space and we're in the recession and she didn't want to pay for education. And so she started bringing in affiliates to teach classes.
Okay.
Because to me, as an event planner, it made a lot of sense.
Sure.
Just put on the event and then I get my classes free.
Mm-hmm.
So we started doing that. And I really believe in education for retention.
Mm-hmm.
If we're going to bring in all these agents, let's, give them a reason to stay.
Sure.
So retention was what it was all about. And so I kind of built that program on the side. And then I started teaching licensing for another company in 2008.
Okay.
So then I was doing two things at that point. So I'm the first productivity coach, sort of. I'm not sure that was really yet. And I am teaching on the regional level
Yeah.
for MAPS coaching.
Yeah.
And then I'm starting to build a team.
Okay.
So I'm doing too much.
Waiting for you to say that. Yep. So, what part did you enjoy the most? Was it the being the leader and the instructor and the teacher, or?
It's still the research and the writing of the material.
Okay.
I'm okay. I'm perfectly happy to be on stage. I'm perfectly happy to be in front of the crowd.
Sure.
That's fine. But I'm really an introvert. I really, really am an introvert. And so I like being in my cave and creating materials.
Now at first it was just New Hampshire, yes?
Correct.
And then you added Maine.
It seemed like a natural.
Correct. Yeah.
I had to, well, it was partially because I had to get my main license. My business partner at the time started, how should I put this? It started not having good relationships with our main clients.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't have my license, so I had to get my license. I got my license and went, oh, I can help other people do this too.
Sure.
Yeah.
I can only imagine, and I'm just thinking of a few people who are very well organized. I'll pick on Sue Doyle, and she has to manage her CEUs for the 3 states in which she serves.
She's got a folder for each.
Yeah, she's got her binders for each.
Yeah.
How complicated it is for you as an instructor and as realestateclass.com, right?
Yep.
Like to manage all the education for the 4 states now. that you
Yes.
serve? Like what is
It's a
at
very
at
big
what point did you look at yourself in the mirror and be like, what in the hell am I doing? Or obviously it was natural growth. It makes sense, and it serves this market center really well, obviously, because we have people that play in all 4 states.
Sure.
But at some point, do you just like okay, this is enough? Like, what if we had Idaho? What are you going to do?
Oh, Idaho would be easy.
That would be easy. Just add that one on.
Well,
Well,
I think probably during COVID you figured that all out, right? Like, okay, where else can I branch to? Yeah.
So, yeah, and it really depends on the state.
Yeah.
Some states are harder than others. My next one that I'm looking at is actually New Jersey.
Really?
Yeah, because of how easy it is to get approved in New Jersey. I would teach in New York. I'm approved to teach in New York and Connecticut as well. But Connecticut has a really strange system for how their credits work.
Okay.
And when I start doing more online asynchronous classes, they will automatically, go out to those states too. But to teach live, you have to come to a balance of what I can get approved that's legitimate in all 3 states. And Massachusetts is a whole different beast because you have to write the class to their outline.
Okay.
So it's very hard to find classes in Massachusetts that I can work into New Hampshire, Maine, and Vermont too.
So many industries are getting, just talking to a friend who's, radio / entertainment, and what he's doing for voice work and stuff like that is obviously getting gobbled up by AI. When do you think online instruction gets gobbled up by AI? Does it ever? And do you,
I think it partly
when do you think the
is.
states will kowtow to that? They'll be just like, it just makes sense.
I don't know about
And
New
I'm not trying to
Hampshire.
light your world on fire. you must think of this as a business owner.
Oh, sure.
Like when is it coming for me? When are they going to be okay? When is New Hampshire going to be like, as long as they're in front of the camera, because they'll have some software to figure out that you're not shutting your camera off, and they're listening to the content, because there's companies that do that already.
Oh, sure.
Right. So
Yes.
so how do you defend yourself against that?
Well, one of the things in New Hampshire is the fact the pre-licensing education has to be 40 hours live. So that's helpful. In Massachusetts, it's 12 hours can be distance learning and 38 have to be live. Maine has a pure online kind of hybrid situation, but you have to take extra tests. And Vermont's kind of easy. You would just simply have to have the videos up.
Yeah.
Yep. We're getting there. I've been pretty tied up with teaching live. I'm coming into a space where I'm going to have some time off. So I'll be able to reinvent some of the classes.
Yeah, we I think people have heard that you have a procedure coming up, and not everybody necessarily knows. So as much as you want to share, just to remind everybody, if you go to our Venmo account, which is at KWCLM, you can donate right now. And we want to help you out while you are off your feet and off the bricks. And
do you know how much a PET scan costs?
More than $10, I hear these days.
$13,995.25.
That's it. So it's holding steady. It's holding steady. Yeah, it's insane. So we want to support Shannon. So if you go to Venmo, it's at kwclm.com. The QR code is floating around Facebook and all the other places. And also the correspondence classes right now, if people are in need of credits, are also.
We have downloadable PDF classes that are really cakey.
Yeah.
So you just download the PDF, take the quiz, print your cert. We have home study classes that we send books to. But I got pneumonia, and truthfully, my only advice is don't let people take pictures. Just don't. If they take like a full body scan, they're going to find something. And so they took a picture of my lungs and they found a mass in my right middle lobe. Who knew you had 5 lobes in your lungs?
I do now. I'm ready for the quiz. I do now.
Pictures are so deceptive. So it's towards the middle. It's towards my heart. It's about the size of a golf ball. The good news that we learned this week is it's not malignant.
Oh, awesome.
So that's like the best news of the year.
Fantastic.
And so now I have to go for what's called a needle biopsy. I thought I was going to be able to skip that one. And because he wants to know if it's a hematoma or carcinoid, the language. It's all about the vocabulary. As long as they don't say carcinoma to you, you're okay.
Yeah.
And so now it's a matter of the size and the location.
Okay.
And depending on which type it is, that's going to determine the next part of the care plan. So we won't know anything now until September 9th.
Okay.
But in the meantime, I've had to cancel my schedule from September through December.
Yeah.
And hey, listen, if you're going to take some time off, that's the best time in New Hampshire to be
Not a bad time.
off from work.
Leave peeping and
Yeah.
getting ready for the holidays.
And it's going to give me time to finish up the next class, which is, I don't really know what the title is going to be yet, but it's all about return on investment, ROI for home improvements. Because
Okay.
I believe all 3 states will approve it.
Yeah, I mean, that's, I guess my next question would be, how do you sit there with all the states you serve? And I know you have a lot of classes that you could write and maybe then just sort of copy paste for different states. But what made you sit and say, here's the next class I should put together? Like,
Good question. It really has to do with, I have certain people that will come to my classes no matter what, whether they need credits or not. I'm fairly entertaining. You know, it's a good way to spend the afternoon.
well, you look like Carrot Top right now. We've got all these props.
I know I have nothing to, can I put on my hat?
You can do it.
I can put on my hat. No.
Yeah. Well, honestly, when Nathan first told me that when he first called me, I was still at the radio station, and he called and he's like, "Hey, I just want to let you know I opened a Keller Williams," and my honest reaction was like, "Why the fuck did you open a paint store?" Like I had no idea what that. What does this mean? Then I'm Googling, probably on a Franklin computer because it was that long ago. I'm Googling and I'm looking up Keller Williams, and it's a barefoot dude playing guitar. Like I'm still going down the wrong road, right?
Yes.
Then I finally find it, and it was that logo. And of course, me being a princess, I'm like, that's just the worst logo ever. I'm like, what is he doing? I think that logo is terrible. Terrible. Do you like that logo?
I never thought about it.
Okay. I did, I guess. But show everybody that. That's probably the original Capper cap. So it's got the
It is
horrible,
the original Capper cap.
original logo, and then on the back it says Capper.
on the back.
Yes, if you go to Mega or Family, Mega
Yep.
coming up in a few weeks in San Antonio, you'll be able to get one of those at the Red Store.
Really?
Oh, they sell those.
Oh, I didn't know that.
1,000%. Yes.
Oh, so you can get a capper cap and not even be a capper?
I don't know. Well, that's like, yeah, that's stolen valor, isn't it? Are you marching around with a Capper cap if you're not a Capper? That's
It's just a question.
That's a jackass move. I think that might be a jackass move.
might
Does
be.
it unlock? Like you have to like scan something? Oh no, you didn't make it yet. Sorry.
GCI. No, you still owe Gary. Still owe international royalties. You're still not there 100%.
You're not there yet.
Not 100%. But you've got a million stories to tell us, I'm sure. About
Probably.
a million
I'm just
different
not
people.
sure what I'm
Well, there's going to be a
allowed to
story with
tell.
every one of these things. But like, I guess, I mean, I ask this of everybody at some point. You could go anywhere. You know, when I have an agent come in and they're doing their shopping, which I appreciate, and I didn't shop around, right? I did my class with you over at the
did.
women's prison, and I remember sitting next to my good friend and that I met in the class, April Shaw, and she's like, "Where are you going?" And we were sitting at that desk that went down the hallway, and I'm like, "April, see that desk way down at the end of the hallway?" Because I was just going to go sit at that desk outside Nate's corner office.
Right.
Like I didn't have the concept that you shopped around. Like I came here because he's like, come play with me. I'm like, okay. He's like, you're gonna go to Shannon. She's gonna yell at you. You're gonna take a test. You're gonna get your license, and you're gonna come back. I'm like, okay. Didn't know that you shopped around. So when kids shop around now, I appreciate that. And then they're like, well, yeah, I was talking to one of my friends who's a veteran. They're at ABC Group, and they said I should start at Keller Williams because it's a great place to start.
Yeah.
Which
It's our
fascinates me, dear
reputation.
Diana Kokoska. It fascinates me because it's also a great place to stay and build a legacy. Or you're making the argument that like Aaron Prue, the Pruniverse, and Troy and Adam and Zoller, they're all too stupid to find the exit.
Can I say one thing?
Yes, ma'am.
Aaron was in my very first class.
Your very first
My
class.
very first class I ever taught.
If that doesn't prove that you're a great instructor, because
Are
you were
you
cool
kidding?
enough to attract her and you were patient enough to get me through it, right?
There were only 6 people in that class.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yep.
So, I mean, my question is like, when you got here,
Mhm.
what was the sticking point for you? What made sense? I know you arrived initially out of anger, right? You probably would have gone to anywhere.com on that day because you were mad at
Well,
people.
I was busy. I had things to do.
Yeah.
I didn't have enough time to shop around.
Yep. But you got here and you're
Yeah.
like, okay, like what made sense for you initially and what has been the sticking point for you?
So for a long time, the location of the office made the most sense to me because I lived about 3 blocks away.
Sure.
I
Yes.
never drove into
Super
work.
convenient.
I walked the train tracks to work because it was that close.
You had a huge hobo clientele.
Well,
Yes.
I lived in Portsmouth downtown for about
Yes.
25 years.
Yes.
And so that was my world.
Yeah.
And I walked everywhere. I walked to I had a walker's life, which
Yep.
was really fantastic. And really good for my health today because I have all of that in the background. So for me, partially it was location. At the beginning, it was also John Duffy
Mhm.
because he was a really good leader. And then it was Sandy Dyka. You know, she was also a very good leader.
She finally retired.
Did she? Oh, I'm sorry to hear
That's a
that.
grey question, right? Did she though? Did she? She's been threatening. I think she still might.
She renewed her license with me about a year ago. So I don't know if you're really right on track with that
It's
one.
so funny though. Like she's been threatening to retire for years. But anyway, yes. Who knows? Who knows?
Doesn't mean you have to let go of your license.
Correct.
So the reason I stayed for a variety of reasons. Then once I started teaching, it was the fact that I had free space.
Mm.
You know, because I've taught out and about.
Mhm.
And then at that point in time, I was pretty tied into the Keller Williams universe, and I was teaching at Markin centers around the region.
Yeah.
I was teaching, I created a class about 30 touches. These
Mhm.
classes based on what we were supposed to do in the
Sure.
Red Book. I was the first teacher of what was called Camp 443 at the
Yep.
time.
Yep.
And I taught 36-12-3. And all of these have been morphed into Ignite and Bold.
Yeah. And sales. And you taught sales. I remember sales.
Well, sales was my own.
Yeah. SAILS.
SAILS.
Yes.
And don't ask me what the acronym stood for.
I was going to be like, what was that acronym? Because I
I know
tend
the
to
two
forget.
S's were systems and strategies. I know
Okay.
that.
Okay.
L had to be lead generation. I
Sure.
presume.
Accountable
Sure.
or something. Accountability.
I doubt it.
No.
I tell you. That's too good. Too good.
You know, so I had a good size, two beautiful training rooms. My first training room was the most beautiful because it had windows on two sides and sunset views. My second training.
You mean you're talking upstairs?
It is.
Well,
Lincoln
the great
Street.
story about that is that was one of the first tasks that Jennifer Vashon was given. She had just come in and she was sort of hanging out after having Delaney, I believe.
She
and-
was in my Camp 443 class and she had to drop out because of the pregnancy.
And then I was like, and then I think Nate was just like, that center room was just full of boxes.
Yeah.
It was
Well,
it was sort of a catch-all storage
It was
space.
a Dickie storage area from.
Did he have a car in there?
No, it was from some barn. There was a whole bunch of collectibles in there.
Oh, I think that might have been when we cleaned out his grandfather's.
That might be
Yeah.
it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
He was the coolest guy.
Yeah.
He was the coolest guy.
That was hell cleaning his house
Oh,
out.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
So,
I've never seen anybody put that much maple syrup on oatmeal. And he talked to me about it. And he was telling me how good for my health it would be to use more maple syrup.
okay. Yeah, and I as Jen tells the story, Nate basically commissioned her to empty that out so you could start teaching in there.
Yes,
And
yes,
that- yeah.
because we needed office space with windows. So I lost my windows so people could have them for office space.
Yep.
But by that time, I moved up to the second floor and I had the best office. I had 4 people on my team and I was doing the productivity coaching. I was running a team. I was still selling real estate and I was doing the teaching. So it was just too much.
Yeah.
You know, I had to start making decisions of what was important. I had a wonderful office space, bright light, big windows. I
Yeah,
sort
if
of
you
had
were
my
coming
own-
from the back of the building,
I was
you
in
were
the
on the
front of
left
the
hand.
building.
You were on the left hand side facing
Yep.
facing Islington.
facing Islington. So I had my own rock beach.
Yes,
Yes.
because everybody used to just go out their windows.
Well, they would break into my office during parade times, apparently. They didn't
The-
invite me.
The holiday parade. We
And
would break
yes.
through, not break through windows, but we would go through the windows to stand
Yes.
drinking water, of course.
hmm
Yeah.
Drinking water, of course. Absolutely.
Yes, happy holidays. Happy holidays.
But that was a really great space. You know,
Yeah.
all that morning light. It was fabulous.
I remember that my first business planning clinic was in the training room in Islington, and I remember that's when it hit me like, this is very real. Like, this is not a video game. Like, we're business owners. Because I always say to people, like, when I first took the class with you, I was definitely in the fetal position under the table once, threw up twice, definitely cried. Like that was just, it's overwhelming. You know, if you have no concept of what that book is all about and how easy that book makes everything when you open yourself up to it.
Right.
But when you're sitting in there your freshman year and somebody's bringing you through it and you're just like, I'm not doing 90% of this stuff. Because in your freshman year, you're doing a lot of haphazard, right? A lot of entrepreneurial, not purposeful.
Well, there's a lot of foundational work that has to be put in.
Sure.
So you have something to work off of.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah. So let's get to some of these. There's got to be stories tied to some of these things. So the capper cap.
Right.
What else we got?
So this one is good. The 100% there.
Yeah.
100% plus club.
So that is, so people
That's
understand.
because that I earned more than 100% in profit share
Yes.
of what it cost me to do business. So that's a good one.
So right now, if somebody's a solo artist, so people understand, your $20,000 commitment to Company Dollar for the Market Center, $3,000 commitment to Texas.
Yep.
When you earn profit share in excess of 23,000, we would call you 100%er.
Yes.
I do believe you've had some years where you might have been a 200%er. I'm not crazy.
You're not crazy.
Yeah.
No, because I'll be honest, I have been lucky enough that profit share so I think I got my first profit share check in 2006.
What was it? Was
64 cents.
Yes, I love that. I wanted you to be like below $1. I was like Bob Barker for a second. I'm like, please say below $1. That's amazing.
Yes.
That's amazing.
And we are now at a place, even though
What did the person sell? A parking spot? Like what happened? How did
well,
you get-
no, we finally had some profit.
Oh, well,
yeah,
no,
that's-
no.
yeah.
Well, yes, because we have to get to a point to get to profitability. I
Right.
get
You
that.
have to
Yes.
have somebody in your downline and
Yes.
you have to profit.
Sure. No, I get that. But that's still, if they're in your first level, that's still a tiny little, like
Let's
60.
remember what time we're talking about. We're just at the beginning of the recession.
Yeah, the wheels are coming off. Yes.
August of
Yeah.
2006, the
Sales
lights went
prices
out.
were
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
$150,000.
Right. Yes.
It's true.
Yes. Okay.
It's true.
64 cents. What, if you don't mind sharing,
No, I don't.
what you must know off the top of your heart, what was your biggest check ever?
10. And that was in 2019.
How life-changing is that moment when you see that deposit and you're like,
Well, by that time I was pretty jaded. And I just expected 5 digits.
why isn't this 15, damn it?
Right, but- and that's
Sure.
the only time I've received 5 digits. I've been in the upper 4 digits
Yep.
many times. And truthfully, over the time period, because we had very strong profit share until 2023.
Yep.
That's when the wheels fell off that bus.
Yep.
And I'm up to something like 550,000 total.
Wow.
So I have reasons why I stayed.
Yes.
It was very convenient. Nathan made it very
Sure.
easy for me to stay. And he was very supportive. He has sent me to instructor development workshops. He has sent me to train the trainers and train the presenters. You know, I really couldn't ask for a bigger supporter that helped me start this business.
Yeah. What do you think?
I
Right.
even went to one of the first mega camps because he didn't want to go. He sent me, and mega camp was held in the Hilton Ballroom in Austin because that's how small the
It was
company
tiny, right? Yeah.
Yep, and Dave Jenks was actually
That's
there.
awesome. That's awesome. What do you think from the time when you started in real estate or started instructing in real estate? What do you think the biggest differentiation between instruction and learning is right now? Like from where you are, what do you think the biggest change is that people should be aware of?
I truly believe that people went to more education up until the COVID times. And more of it was, groups getting together and
Yeah.
it was far more social. The disconnect at this point in time that I see, because I regularly go to contracts classes, I feel that learning is a lifelong activity. And I always learn something in those contracts classes. But if we have, 400 to 600 agents and we regularly only have 40 people in the room, and we're not employers, it says to me that maybe independent contractors are not as committed to their own learning. Maybe they're expecting more of an employee handout.
Sure.
Versus we had no systems. We had no direction. We were all bootstrapping from the bottom up.
Right.
because you got to remember when we started all of this, there really wasn't an internet.
Mm. Yeah.
There really wasn't everyone had
what it is
cell
now,
phones. I mean, I still had a pager. I had a fax machine at home.
Walking the train tracks.
Oh,
with a
100%. Yeah,
pager.
definitely the pager.
with the pager.
I love that.
Running over to the payphone. Like, yeah, I'll pick it up later. 2 bags. Yep. Okay. What?
No, I always got 3.
Oh my God.
I'm kidding. So the tech has taken off so dramatically and so quickly.
Yeah.
And that's been a change. Of course, contracts have changed from 3 pages to 6. Litigation has changed. The laws haven't changed all that much, quite honestly. But I think it was a different time, and you had so little access to education on how to run the business that you had to do more digging through the library stacks and the bookstores.
Yeah.
So Keller Williams, when they came in, it was completely original and new idea, because they are really an education company that's pretending to sell real estate.
Yep.
And so that was a big change. And of course, Keller Williams also came into the market with their cap and our splits, so we had been working at 50-50. That was just normal. For Keller Williams, say you have an 80-20 split, and then you cap at a certain amount of production. That was groundbreaking.
Yeah.
But I couldn't do what I do if I hadn't been here.
Yeah, I appreciate that, but there's a huge amount of determination. I was going to ask, where do you get the determination from? Like, and business owners have to reinvent themselves all the time. Yeah. But you have taken something that you started on Islington Street years ago and made it bigger and stronger and more noticeable. I think when I talk to people, especially when they're coming in for their first meeting with me, how did you find us? Where did you take your class? 90% of the time, it's you, right? And if it's not you, it's Ann, right? And those are great resources. But like for you, what have you done? What's the determination that you have to keep reinventing yourself and making it fun for you? Because you and I both have...
Those are 2 different questions.
Okay, I apologize. But like you and I both have very repetitive jobs. I know people that do the same thing every day. Yes, we could all argue we all have repetitive jobs. But I remember Diana Kokosa saying to me, because I was so concerned, and this is years ago, because I've been at this desk for 12 now. And I remember saying to her, like, I feel like, and she didn't get the reference point, but Red Sox fans will. I said, I feel like Tito Francona. I feel like I've lost the clubhouse. And she goes, don't forget, you're going to have a bulk of your agents that have known you for years that will not necessarily be learning from you every day, but you'll be reminding them. Our job is to just keep ringing the bell and reminding them. But how do you keep that novel for you so you don't get bored?
Let's go back to the other question.
Yeah, pick a question. I know. I'm a wormhole. Sorry, go ahead.
One of the things that Keller Williams taught me, and Gary Keller is such an incredible resource. When the One Thing came out, that white book.
Mm-hmm. Mine's black, but yes.
And the
Lost
red.
the dust cover.
Yours is black.
Well, the dust cover's gone.
Oh, okay.
This was around for the Civil War.
You have a 7L book on your desk?
That's my 4th gospel, according to Keller Williams. According to me, I should say. My contention is Red Book, Shift, One Thing, 7L. Are you gonna fight me? I love this. We're fighting. I also have David Portnoy, not a sponsor yet. Another great book. Anyway, well, you don't really? You're not a fan?
So, anyways,
Dear Michael Mayer, Shannon don't like you.
No, I like him as a person.
Okay.
I truly do. I just feel like he was somehow eavesdropping on my life and wrote it down. So maybe that's part of it. I have a big why. I had a big why. Now I don't know what to do with my life because I have no big why. But my big why all of this time, and I took a lot of flack from it from a lot of people because people don't understand why that would be my big why, is my mother. And knowing that my mother, when she would retire, would not have much in Social Security or pension or anything, my big why has always been that I have to take care of my mother. And so that's what this has all been about, which I have achieved, which is really good news. I was able to buy my mother a house across the street from my house. And so that's really helpful for caretaking because it's not that she needs too much caretaking yet, but That's always been my big why. And, it wasn't about me personally. Yes, it's about my family. But profit share has literally allowed me to buy a house for myself and my mother.
Mhm.
So was the determination. That was the drive.
Yeah.
When my grandmother was passing away in 2007, we lost everything. We lost the house, we lost the land. My mother went bankrupt. So that was the driving factor. What was the other question?
What keeps it novel for you?
Yeah, what keeps you coming
Oh,
back?
I write something new.
That's okay.
I write something new because I can only teach the same class for about 4 years before I hit a wall. And I find that I'm just phoning it in and I'm going too fast.
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate that only for the fact I remember sitting in a bold when I was in the coaching role, sitting in a bold, one of our dear friends, I will hold on to the name. One of our dear friends was instructing, and I was like, something feels different about this. And as soon as I had that inside thought, he said, I've taught this class 68 times.
Oh, Lord.
And I said,
Yes.
oh, that's the problem. Like, he's standing over Gary's gospel, but he's not reading it. He's preaching his own. He was preaching his own at that point. And I'm like, that's what the problem. That's like that. And I always, Ignite, and I'd have our cappers teaching Ignite. I'd be like, and they're like, well, I'm like, listen, the slide deck is there. That's your guide. I need you to stick to Gary's recipe, but you can make your own version of it. But you can't deviate, because that's the challenge of our industry, I think, now. And it drives me crazy. I've got so many things that drive me crazy, but this one I know you'll appreciate, is when you see one of our agents take something and it works for about 28 minutes and just long enough in this current industry and society that we live in, 28 minutes it's been working, it must be magical. And then you see them posting their class, join me Thursday at 2 to learn my tips and tricks, which makes me want to jump out of a first floor window, right? Because what they're talking about is their unique practice. And everyone builds that off of a best practice from the Red Book, and it becomes your unique practice. But when it goes 4 or 5 people away from the source material and gets Frankensteined and bastardized, suddenly it's the worst unique. It's like a bad game of telephone. And you're wondering why this doesn't work. Because it was Shannon's unique practice, Tim's unique practice, and we keep getting away from the truth of the book that actually tells us the standard, right? Sure. So that's always been my biggest challenge with, I feel like we're in an industry, and a lot of industries are guilty of it. We have a lot of agents at KW that will stand on the sidelines, watch where the suffer point is, and this is classic sales, write a class for it, which they're not. AI is writing the class. And then they're going to march back into the market center and sell it back to their brethren when we're supposed to be, and I know this is altruistic, buckle up, kids. We're supposed to just be crowdsourcing our greatness together, because that's what the right thing to do. That's like the source. That's the hub of our existence as a market center. But everybody's selling their $99 class that doesn't really work, but they caught fire for 3 seconds. I'm going to not say a name, but somebody in the region invented the golden letter. They didn't. But that went for a while as like, oh my God, the golden letter, blah, blah, blah. Yes, and.
Are you talking about love letters?
No, the golden letter. Just insofar as.
Never heard of the golden letter.
Hi, Shannon. My name is Timothy Lindsay. I'm a realtor with Keller Williams Coastal Lakes and Mountains. If you're interested in selling your home, it's very cut, very dried. Done.
Okay.
Call me here. And that's it. Press play, and send them out. And somebody caught fire with it, and it's working for them. And they're selling it back to the masses. And I just think that's a different flavor from you sitting down and saying, okay, home ownership, ROI, here's value. This is a real class.
Well, yes.
Not my version of a class that was built ages ago. There's my rant for the day. I apologize, but it was.
I know, but you're giving me all kinds of interesting ideas.
You're welcome. It just fascinates me. The whole tips and tricks thing, I think, is.
Yeah, I have 2 professional development classes that I've created. They're both $27. They're not very expensive. They're way too long. I think I put way too much into it, like I normally do.
As long as tips and tricks is not in the forward.
No, one's about profit through lead generation.
Yeah. Oh, hang on. Yeah. No, Gary, I'll get all the notes. Yep. No, she's talking about it right now.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I'll call you back. Gary's very excited. Tell us more about lead gen.
And the other one is about how to hold a more profitable open house. Because, people do open houses, and I've been going out to a lot of open houses to see how people do them. And some people do them really well, and some people don't. And I don't know if there's really enough information on how you can use that as a lead generation device.
Well, page 71 and Shift would defend
Was
your
part of it.
would defend your
Sure.
argument, and that there's the point. And what's fascinating too is if you go into, we now have all these new playbooks they're printing.
Oh,
Right?
okay.
There's new playbooks, and you'll love this. And this is me waving my cane at the clouds. Old man, insert here. The 7th level open house was page 71 and Shift, right? Or is page 71 and Shift. They've now made a 5th level open house.
Okay.
There's a level of dumbing down that's happening right now. That is fascinating. And I don't think it's not that we couldn't abbreviate some of the things we were doing, but there are some things that were happening that did work. And this is a great quote from our dear friend Mark King. What is it that you used to do that worked so well that you just stopped doing it?
Teaching live.
And yeah, I mean, but everybody has an answer for that question. And one of them is like, to your point, like an open house is not 4 balloons, 5 stale cookies.
Right.
And a lot of people feel it is that way. But I put it on MySpace last night. Like, nobody saw that.
No,
like,
did you knock the neighborhood?
Amen, sister.
I mean, where are you
Timmy
putting
didn't.
the
You
word?
got bit by the dog.
Oh my God, I did. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. JV and I hustling in Durham.
No, I do. And if you are going to knock the neighborhood, please, the buddy system is
Be
the only
safe.
way to do it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Male or female, bring 2 people.
But I have had, both selling the house by knocking the neighborhood and listing other houses with some of those activities.
Yeah.
So that's why I put it in.
Yeah. What do you think people are missing right now that like is just a tried and true real estate practice that people have gotten away from because of the tech? Because we have electricity now and like things are just easier and there's a million other ways that you could quote unquote capture a lead.
I think they're not driving home using different routes is going to be my answer. Because if you're always going the same path every day, you do not see the vacant house or the house with the overgrown weeds or the other things that clue you in, like the dumpster in the driveway.
Yeah, something's happening.
It's something's happening, or where they're having yard sales, so we can stop and find out the motivation behind that. I think that we are not, I know this is going to sound whack, but we're not driving around enough. We're not going to the outer edges to see, oh, look what's happening in this neighborhood.
What do you think got people away from that? Just the fact that everything's available?
Partially COVID. You weren't supposed to go out, and so we got out of the habit. I bet if you talk to real estate agents about their taxes, their mileage has gone down.
Hold on a second. I just want to make sure that we close the circle on this. So you started this by saying you were an introvert.
Yes.
And you stop at people's houses and talk to them when they have yard sales and stuff
That's
like that?
business.
Oh, okay.
That's not social.
Yeah. No, I'm
Yeah, close that circle.
Yeah, I'm just soft tossing you that. Yeah,
She's gonna.
Yeah,
stop,
like that's what I mean. Like
she's stopping
you're
at
not
the
just
yard
hiding
sale.
at home.
It's
No,
business.
no, okay.
She's gonna stop at the yard sale to talk to the people to
Yeah.
get the listing to earn the money to build bigger walls at her house to keep the people out.
As my husband, he doesn't understand what I do for a living because he lives with me.
Sure.
So it's very much 2 different people. I don't know if you know this, but I'm a high DS. I'm not natural. I'm not normal. I'm not wired right. I have practically no eye. That's all pure learned
You
skill.
want the information yesterday, and you'll
I will
ask.
hold your hand, but I want bullet points.
You will ask very nicely for it. Yes.
Yes.
My contention on the disc is that probably the best, and the Kate Drew is definitely this high DC. If you're operational,
Yep.
I want all the right information yesterday.
Yep.
And that's like Kate Drew is the archetype for that. And I think that's a really good. If you're operational, that's huge. So DS for you is.
I will hold your hand, but I want the bullet points.
Get her
And if
done.
I don't get it
Yeah.
done, I'm going to kick you in the shins.
Yeah, I'm IS. I just want to talk and hug.
And then I'll help you sit down after I kick you.
ISDC, which means talk, hug, get it done, don't care about the paperwork. Which Kate Drew also hated.
Which explains your sock collection.
Yeah, sure.
The high eye.
Yes, yeah. Well, I mean, I'm wearing no-shows right now because I have shorts on, but nobody needed to know that. But listen.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
At least you're wearing clothes.
Brad's like, all right, so we know he has pants on. That's good.
That's
good to know.
That's good to know.
Oh my goodness.
But I've been hanging around here for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
When we moved into this space, I remember the day Nathan came to me with his TL at the time, and they asked me if I wanted to be a coach or a trainer. I had just met my husband a few months earlier, and I had just gotten back from the meeting about becoming Bold coaches. And in the Bold coaches meeting, the person standing in the front of the room was, giving you the lowdown of saying, if you say yes to being a Bold coach, you're going to say no to all of these things. And he told this big story about how this woman had just moved in with him and he went off for his first Bold coaching gig. And somebody said, "Are you still together?" He goes, "Well, that didn't work out." I packed up my computer in the middle of the meeting and went, "Oh, I guess I'm saying no to this."
Yeah. I love that class. I don't know how people do that lifestyle.
No,
it's a fascinating choice.
I was definitely on that track.
Yeah.
And then I met my husband and my track changed.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, what's fascinating about that, back in the day, if you were a Bold coach, somebody from Virginia would come to this region and probably teach in 4 locations.
Yes.
So it was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, fly home Friday, family with the weekend, and then turn around and do it again. And to me, that was just like, and not to mention all the bartering you're doing to help those locations fill that room. What's fascinating, here's something, this is the ever-changing landscape of education within our company. The August launch of Bold, we have 50 states. How many do you think we have launching in August?
I want to say 50.
California, Arizona, Virginia, and North Carolina. That's that to me.
And that's unfortunate because the new Bold program, I've been watching you folks, online. I mean, some of the stuff they're sharing today is really beneficial. I thought it was good, upgraded stuff.
Yep. I think it's morphing. I think the way people want to learn is morphing.
Where do you think they want to go?
I think they want the challenges, and we've created this at this market center, and everybody can blame it on me, and I sort of don't care. It's not like we're still get that, because I had people when COVID was wrapping up and we went from pandemic to endemic. People are just like, you should shut the cameras off. I'm like, geographically, that's the dumbest move in North America.
Right.
We serve 4 states. I have people hundreds of miles away.
And we only have so much parking.
Amen, sister. Right. Yeah. So that's an impossibility for us. And
True.
We had so many kids that joined us during COVID. The allure was I can do this from my couch with mittens and she looks great. Right. So we can't shut the cameras off.
No.
And I also know the strength of coming into the building and rubbing elbows and creating those circles. Right. And I completely appreciate that. The challenge is, I would argue that we are too accessible. I think that and I'm still not going to change what we're doing, right?
Sure.
I mean, if people love you, if the 3 of us were sitting in the front of the training room and it was come and be in person in Portsmouth while Timmy and Brad talk to Shannon, we'd have a room full of people because you're adored. But that doesn't make any sense to the kid that's going to join the company in 2 months, that they might trip over this on YouTube and learn more about you. Like,
right.
That's my long play on why we do it this way as well. But our accessibility makes us like, oh, I'll get to it later. And unfortunately, that has, to your earlier point, bled into our contracts classes. Well, it's there every week. Yeah.
It's not the same.
We have it there every week for your face to be there every
Yep.
week because you're threatening to serve the people in the state in which you got your license every week. Right. So that's our biggest challenge. I think they want the accessibility, I would guess, if I'm an agent at our market center, and we're giving them the accessibility, but that ease of use creates complacency. And that's our biggest challenge right now. And I sit in these productivity coaching things. There'll be one in San Antonio, and somebody's going to be like, we make the parking lot, Shannon, we make the parking lot of what people want to talk about. And every other table has some jackass that says they want to talk about engagement. And that's the wrong word. It's attendance. Because you and I both know if I have 3 kids in the room, I need to engage with them.
Yes.
I'm not worried about I am worried about the attendance, but more so when I get the kid in the room, the engagement is on us. Like Diana Kokoska said 1,000 years ago, if you have 1 kid, you don't sit next to them and teach, you stand and deliver and treat them with the respect that the whole class would get. You don't suddenly make it like, oh, we'll just cruise through this. I'll get you on your way. Right. So I think that's where we're failing as a company. And I don't mean just 463, but our whole company is we are easy to just say, oh, well, it's an engagement issue. Yeah, but nobody's solving it. And it's a attendance issue, not an engagement issue. Hi, Gary. He's listening. So, yeah, I don't know.
And I'm on this new track where I've been creating what I call legacy projects, as far as forcing myself to do the recordings so that I didn't realize it was going to happen so quick. But if there was a shift in my world, that I still would be able to offer. Sue Doyle said once years ago, I overheard her outside of one of my classes. People were like, oh, Shannon will be back next week. I'll come next time. And she goes, you never know when she won't be here. Because not to be harsh or morbid, everyone has a shelf life.
Yeah.
Not just in our lifespan, but in our work span too, as far as, everyone's always heading towards a new pivot or a new shift. I guess that's what I've been thinking about a lot.
Understood. Yeah.
For sure.
As a self-employed person, I have never faced a blank calendar. And I can't even begin to explain what that does to your identity.
Hence why she's filling it with creating new classes.
Yeah. Also that.
Right, but they also, my clientele gets bored. They want something fresh. I've taken all your titles, and a lot of people think they can't take a title twice, like they can't use the same credits for 2 different renewals. And laws change, things shift, and technology gets better, and I have more and better tools to work with. So, yeah, you got to come up with fresh. People get bored. I get bored.
Yeah. When you got started, you obviously leaned into like the sales that you had done before, right? It was natural for you to do real estate. It's just a different commodity, right? So, what would you have done differently in your first year, or would you have done something differently in your first year when you first got into real estate, when it was going to be a thing?
I probably would have tried to get over myself and actually talk to my warm market. I had
define warm market.
So I had sold so many things over the years, from camcorders to Kirby vacuum cleaners.
Kirby's.
I did that for like a week.
I made good money.
Yeah.
I can't go wrong. Anyways, I had sold so many things over so many years. It's not that I didn't have a book of business, not that I don't have a big family, but I didn't want to try to sell them one more thing. And so I decided to do a entire market of people I didn't know.
Yep.
And so I ended up at the city halls with a yellow pad and a pencil, and writing down every single person in the town of Portsmouth that owned a house but didn't live here. So I decided that my market wasn't going to be people I had to interact with. That's the introvert part.
Yeah.
And I built my entire first market was built around my out-of-area owner list, going town by hand because nothing was online yet. Yeah. And marketing to them specifically, including things like sending pictures in the winter times, so you could see what your property looked like. Yeah. And my other one that I was working with, which was where I got my first listing, was the baby list. At the time, you had the newspaper. Remember the newspaper?
Yes.
And it would have a list of all the babies that were born in the area. And so you could cross-track them back. And I would send them this really cute little postcard saying, congratulations on the new addition to your family. And that's literally how I got my first listing.
What was the list? Divorce, death, deployment, diapers, right?
Divorce.
What? No? Am I wrong?
No, the 4 Ds: divorce, death, debt, and disease.
Oh, I thought deployment was in there. Diapers. No,
Diapers.
I'm making a new list. What babies?
Tim's got 15 Ds.
Yeah. I don't know.
The 4Ds are the reasons people usually sell real estate.
Yeah.
They're not positives.
Well, I'm adding deployment and diapers. Okay.
Diapers can be positive.
Yeah, you grow it. Yeah, you need more space. I wasn't saying it was negative.
Okay.
You don't move. It's not always negative to move.
But I think that if I was going to start off today, I would build my database straight out of my phone, straight out of my family, straight off my social media.
You'd call the people you already know and love and trust?
I would.
Shit, write that down, Brad.
That's the thing I didn't do.
That's I gotta believe for people that have been in sales for a long time, I gotta believe that's probably the number one thing. I mean, Nate talks about his database and not handling it right. When I started in sales, I was like, oh, I don't want to talk to my family.
Right.
Like, I'm going to talk to somebody else. Yeah, like that's everybody does it. And then you get to the point where you're like, okay, wait a second. I'm bringing value to all these people I don't know. Why wouldn't I bring value to the people I do know?
Right. Well, and it's mega ego packed in that statement. And you're also hiding behind the fact that I don't want to sell. I don't want to bother my family. No, you don't want your ego to get bruised in front of your family, especially when it's your freshman year and you don't know all the things.
Right.
This just in, you'll never know all the things. Right.
Truth.
So like, yeah, just talking to the people that you know and love and trust. I tell all of our kids like this, and I kill plants. I've got 2 on life support.
So was that whole question just a setup? So I could reinforce.
Yeah. Well, I knew what you were going to say. Like, I mean, of course you're going to say that. That most successful agents would refer back to that. And I every time I teach, I say, if Nate happens to wander through the training room, we'll ask him. And then the little mythical creature wanders through the training room, and I'm like, hey, what would you have done differently? Oh, database, definitely. Like 4,000%, right?
And you got to remember, at this point in time, I built a database on index cards.
Yes. Yeah, Barney Miller.
Yeah,
Flipping through the Rolodex.
Tickling the files is what we called it. Yeah. And Nathan used to tease me all the time because we'd be in a sales meeting. I'd be bored. And I'd have a stack of cards and I was hand addressing postcards.
Mm-hmm.
There was no constant contact. There was, your handwriting was your
AM cards
handwriting.
and stuff like that, yeah.
And that's how I did my business. And it wasn't a lot. It was only, I think my first list was only 750 people.
Wow.
Because I was focusing purely on Rye and Portsmouth. And if you lived out of area and farther away than Massachusetts, that's right. You had to be farther away than Massachusetts.
You didn't want them to come find you.
I had sold so many things. I'm like, no, we're going to practice on other people.
How much is the demographic of the people that come into your class now? How much has that changed?
It's shifted a lot.
Yeah.
It's shifted a lot. It's the age. I have, in every class that I've taught the last couple of years, we have at least one person who hasn't actually graduated high school yet.
Mm.
So I'm seeing real estate being treated more as a trade, almost as trade school, versus second career.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm seeing less of the second career. So I'm talking second career tier. I'm talking 45 to the 60.
Yeah.
I'm seeing much more of the younger people coming in and saying, this is my career from the start.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's the biggest change that I've seen. We've seen another shift back to more women than men. We had gone through a period from 2015 through 2020-ish. Where I was starting to see more men than women. And now we've taken a complete spin back because it always depends on how people are seeing the industry itself. And when it started not being seen as so easy, my demographic has shifted from more men to more women when it got harder.
You realize what she's saying about us, right? You're getting that? You're picking that up? Okay.
But he does something totally different, and so do you. And so that's what I've really seen in the class, and that's been the most interesting thing is the age group has really gone under 40, even I would say even under 35.
Yeah, which is huge because if you can get into this world and start building at a young age, it's not only your clients but also your world.
Right.
Because you being a realtor, you've got the in. on real estate.
And I always tell them about Nathan and how he bought his first building in 19.
Yep.
So I use him as a positive example in the class.
Mm-hmm. What are you most hopeful for the industry? Like, what do you think is something that's exciting that maybe people aren't noticing or realizing is an opportunity?
I don't think they're data mining as much as they could. I think that the industry will have a huge shift if they change the capital gains tax deduction. If we change you would agree, I suspect. If we change the capital gains tax deduction, we're going to open up quite a few people who might be able to afford to move at that point because they have too much equity. I think that we should be, doing everything we can to find more multi-generational household situations, so more properties that can handle ADUs. Because we're moving into that time this year. I don't know if you're aware of it. The boomers start turning 80. 4 million of them turn 80 this year. And a couple of years ago, we had like 15,000 people a day turning 65. So I grew up in a multi-generational household. I kind of own a compound now because I won't share a kitchen. Really very simple.
I love it.
That, looking at some of these opportunities, do we have that extra side yard? Do we have the deep backyard? Do we have the barn? Do we have the garage? What kind of opportunities can we make, particularly on properties that have town water, town sewer? It gets really challenging when you get out to the septics as far as the rework of the property is concerned. But I just don't know if people are digging.
Yeah.
Are you digging through the data that's available from every town on every plat map? Just flip the plat map so you can have a visual idea of the town itself, to really dig, to really go search. We've always had to dig, but I don't see it as much today.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Nate does it. Like, he digs. You see him all the time. He knows the towns, and that's, the people that are good, that are, and I'm gonna
people that survive,
the people that are successful, like the Troys and the Adams, they know every house in their area. So that's huge.
Dan from there's a whole community within Keller called KW Planner, and it's all about that. They're talking about the fact that the silver tsunami is coming, and it'll be the greatest transfer of wealth. With people that are sitting on equity, sitting on completely owned homes, and how to do that. But more than that,
I have to stop you.
Okay.
The silver tsunami can only happen if they have a place to go.
Sure.
They don't have a place to go. I've got a cousin living in a 6,000 square foot Victorian, but we have no place for her to go. There has, you have to, in order for that silver tsunami to happen, you have to have already had the infrastructure. And have we been building?
No.
We don't have the infrastructure.
Yeah.
Everyone in my neighborhood would like to move. I live in a neighborhood of 3-bedroom houses. The most that lives in any of those houses is 2. Right? And the conversation in the neighborhood is, where would we go? We can't, swap out $600 a month in property taxes to pay $2,000 in rent.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't think the silver tsunami is going to happen the way they've really been putting it out there.
Yeah.
Plus, with the healthcare costs now rising, if the millennials are not taking care of the boomers and the Gen X, we already said no, then all of those so-called dollars for this tremendous transaction is already dropping. I think they say it's 39 cents on the dollar now, is going to be lost to elderly healthcare and not having your family at home. And not doing what we always did traditionally. Yeah. I lived with my grandmother and my mother, all of my aunts, my cousins, and everyone was always around. And we've fallen away from that of everyone having, their own kitchen.
Yes.
Kind of thing, which I demand.
I know exactly what you said. I've always said to people, and I'll ask both of you this question: if you're making toast, and we're way off course, stand by. If you're making toast and you have your butter out and your jelly out, how many utensils does that require?
2.
Thank you. So my in-laws are one utensil, and God rest my father-in-law's soul. We lost him in May, so it's just Wimmel now, the wicked mother-in-law.
You get
She loves
butter
it.
in the jelly.
They are transferring condiments left, right, and center. So for my own sanity, I mean, they would visit when we first got the house, but we got Stratford in 2009, and then they moved in 2010. But we had built out downstairs for the second kitchen, and it has saved all my lives. So
No,
I concur. I concur. Yes. I
no,
mean,
and because I also grew up in a.
what?
No, I grew up in a one utensil house.
One utensil? No, you're gonna fight. You're gonna fight me because
Yeah, if I'm gonna make toast, it's butter and peanut butter.
well, I would know when they
At least
visited.
they're both a butter base.
I would know when they visited because I would go into either the jelly or the butter, and there were crumbs from the toast. It was cross-pollinating condiments all over the place. It was terrible. Terrible.
I grew up in a house where my mother and I are right-handed. My grandmother was left-handed.
Oh.
That probably explains my kitchen issues.
Yeah.
Because she would turn like all the coffee cups to go the wrong way.
Yes.
Everything was wrong.
Of course. Of course. Thank you so much for hanging out. Do you have anything else you want to show us before we
Yes.
escape? What do you
Before
got?
we escape, I want to show you the original bold.
There it
I'll put
is.
My hand behind it. They used to put your name on them.
Yes, way back in
was
the
really
day. Yes,
fancy.
ma'am.
And
Yeah, what is this?
Isn't this
From the
fun?
Olympics. Yeah.
wait,
Hold it up. Hold it up.
Lift it
Hold
up a little bit further. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
over.
There you go.
There we go. So the one in the middle,
Yeah.
the black one,
Yep.
that's actually the coolest. That's the Growth Partner Award
Oh, amazing.
that I received in the year that I had 473 people.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's interesting to when you used to be able to see the list. It's
Yes,
really
yes.
interesting to see that about 60% are here in Portsmouth, but 40% are in other
Elsewhere.
market
Yeah,
centers.
very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So
Awesome.
that was my show and tell. I think I didn't show you my pin.
What is, oh, there's your 15.
Yeah. I remember when Nathan gave this to me, it kind of felt like an AA meeting.
Yeah. Yep.
Here's your pin. I
Yeah.
was like,
Intervention.
right? As he gushed over my business partner. But yes, that's all my show and tell. I looked really hard, Tim. I tried to find my Keller Williams Frisbee. Nathan had bought Frisbees. Do you remember the Frisbees?
Yeah, I do.
Nathan had bought Frisbees. We all had these red Keller Williams Frisbees.
Perfect.
And on that, thank you for inviting me. I had a good time.
Thank
It's
you
been
for
a
hanging
treasure.
out. Again, friendly reminder. So your procedures in September. Yes, we get more information in September.
Yes, I have 14. Well, we don't know at this
Yeah,
point. I have
correct. Okay.
the next procedures in September. We don't know where we're going from there. The surgeon wants more information
Mm-hmm.
so he can preserve as much lung as possible.
Sure.
But I will be teaching a class in Meredith at the end of August.
Yep.
We have one more class for this, folks. It will be a video class,
Okay.
but it'll have credits in Maine, New Hampshire, and Vermont. And I think it might have Mass too.
Wow. All right.
So I have 14 classes left to go. We have a licensing class currently
Okay.
going on.
Yeah.
We're doing all the post-licensing classes this month, if anyone needs post-licensing in August. And other than that, I'm kind of excited to have September off.
A little bit of a sabbatical.
I'll get a chance to work on the business instead of in it.
Awesome. Shannon, thank you so much for everything you've ever done for this market
Oh,
center.
thank you, Tim.
If
Thank you
people
for
hadn't
having
got
me.
their license with you, or you hadn't saved their ass with 20 minutes to go before midnight, because we all promised each other way back in the day, I'm not going to drive to Concord at the end of my sophomore
Sure.
year. And almost everybody I know drove to Concord at the end of their sophomore year.
And now you
Yes.
can't do that.
You can't do that now. Now you just have to. And I think it was probably 4 years ago. I think 2 renewals ago for me. I was at we rented a Tennessee lake house, and I was there, and
remember
something
that.
got so jammed up, and I'm on the phone with I'm on the back deck, and it's Tennessee, so it's 1,000 degrees, and I'm on the back deck, and you're like, we'll get this figured out, because I sent something, and something was jammed up,
Yep.
and we needed new signatures, and you saved my ass yet again. So
I do that a lot.
yes, yes,
I do that a
So, and
lot,
we're
and
all
I
very
don't mind.
grateful.
I don't
We're all
mind.
very grateful. So if you have a chance, you can go to our Venmo account. It's at kwclm.com and help Shannon out. We love you to death. Thanks for hanging out.
I love all of you, and I'm glad to be here.
We'll see you soon.